Butterfly Blackout. I'm your host, Emily, along with the one, the only. One day you'll see his face, Jeff.
How you doing?
And the voice, the myth, the legend, Truth.
What's good? What's good?
You got that voice. So, real quick update. COVID-19 is back in business, ladies and gentlemen. What do you mean back in business? Well, it took some time off during the protests, and now that George Floyd has been buried and the funeral services are over, now COVID-19 is making its return. Viruses can do that. Either they come, they go, they can take a break, mental health day, and then decide to, come back full force. So now a whole bunch of states are claiming that COVID-19 patients are on the rise. The numbers are going up. New Jersey's still on a down slide, and we're doing well so far. But should you worry? I'm not sure, because there are many people that went to Trump's rally. They didn't wear masks, and they're not sick, except for one person. It's kind of odd, don't you think? Should you worry? At this point, just follow the CDC guidelines. That's what the White House keeps saying. That's what they're doing. They're following the CDC guidelines. In some places, it's up to you. Wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. Go here. Go there. It is whatever. But if you live in New Jersey, Connecticut, and New York, there are travel bans. Yes, if you are traveling to and from one of the red states that's on high alert, you're going to have to self-quarantine for 14 days, y'all. 14 days, yes. In other words, summer is canceled and you can't go anywhere. So you might as well just stay home. In fact, they told you today of all days, which is Independence Day, they said, please stay home. They've canceled fireworks because, God forbid, you sit in your car and watch the fireworks. That's a problem. But you can go to drive-in movies, though. But anyway, that's besides the point. If you're celebrating Independence Day, July 4th, that means you want to have your barbecues, you want to be at the beach, but be careful because you have to social distance and wear a mask where applicable. Now, what's going to happen after today? What's going to happen is you're going to see more numbers. The president even said when you test more people, more numbers will come, right? Obviously. But in this case, more numbers will appear. Then people are going to start to panic even more, and then they're going to blame Trump again because, one, he doesn't follow the CDC guidelines, I think, and two, even though he did say he's in favor of wearing masks, but I don't care about that because I think you want to see him with the mask on all the time, but newsflash, he's the president. He gets tested on a regular basis, so technically he doesn't have to wear a mask because he's not around a lot of people like that, but that's just, just putting that out there. So yeah, the numbers are going to go up, people are going to panic, and then more than likely, stuff will shut down again. Will people lose their jobs? Now the government added more jobs. But I'm willing to bet people are going to lose their jobs again because people have to stay home, so it is what it is, okay? So COVID-19 is the new COVID-20, and our kids have to go back to school, but they probably won't be going back to school because there's no vaccine, and Happy July. Anyways, so today's Independence Day. I said that a couple times because what is Independence Day? Jeff, do you know what that is?
What is Independence Day to America? The day that we separated ourselves from the
Britain.
Britain, yeah, England.
Okay, it is actually the federal holiday declaring independence of the United States of America in 1776.
Yes.
Okay, and this is where the Declarations of Independence came from, which states all men were created equal. Okay, the facts. Created in 1776, all men were created equal. I think we need a definition of what men means.
Are we tripping on men now?
What's the definition of men? Not women, just men. So
For what year?
this is 1776.
So their definition of men, in my opinion, would have been white gentlemen with penises between their legs.
Okay, I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff sometimes doesn't understand what he's saying. We want to be politically correct, okay, in respect to the LGBTQ plus.
Well, it was 1776
Community.
year. The 1776 year.
Yeah, those
matter.
didn't exist back
They
then.
came up
We're
in the
this is
2010s.
2020 now, Jeff, and we need to
2010s.
respect everyone. Okay? So we're being gender neutral at this point, so you can't use the term penis. Okay? I don't think. Now, if you said LGBTQ plus minus, then we can have that conversation.
Plus, minus.
But that's Independence Day. Then we have Juneteenth.
Okay.
No, that passed. And that's took place in 1865. Track with me.
Yes.
Independence Day was 1776. Black people were still slaved all the way up until 1865, which
Yes.
is why we have Juneteenth, because the last group of slaves were made free. Okay. 1776 to 1865. Black folks, why are you celebrating Independence Day? Because, you know, our people were celebrating while being slaves, right? And all we got was just, you know, pick cotton, cook, clean, get beat, get raped. Oh, but then we're going to have a fireworks display so you guys can go outside in your, you know, from your cabins and watch the little fireworks that we put on for you. But then once it's over, go back into your rooms.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have Columbus Day. Now, this is a celebration of Christopher Columbus, who arrived in the Americas October 12th, 1492. Okay? Then he returned back to Spain. Returned back to Spain or Italy?
No, he went to Spain.
He went to
Then
Spain.
He went to Italy. Yeah.
And he
that's where
brought
commissioned
back
from.
gifts,
And some,
including Indian captives.
yeah. Yes.
And we celebrate Columbus Day because it's important to the Italian Americans.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's get this straight. So we have Juneteenth, which the last slaves were freed in 1865. We have Independence Day, which gave us our Declaration of Independence. All men were created equal as of 1776, but my black folks were still enslaved
Yes.
in 1776. So clearly that wasn't for us. Right? And the
No.
definition of men is again. So it wasn't for black people. I have to go back and think how they were thinking. So when they said men, it was a bunch of men in the room. So it was just them and people that looked like them, not slaves, because many of them had slaves and slaves had no rights.
Right.
Then we introduced Columbus and we gave him a day because he arrived in America
Yes.
only to capture Indians and bring them to Spain?
Yes.
Why am I bringing this up? Well, today's July 4th.
Yes, it
Independence Day can be a holiday or it could be a movie starring Will Smith.
is.
So
Oh, God.
you pick which one you want. So the conversation is, what should we be celebrating? Now, I do remember having that conversation. If we're going to celebrate Juneteenth, we cannot celebrate what? Independence Day.
Independence Day.
You need to pick one. It can't be both. Because, no, it cannot be both. What are you saying by celebrating Independence Day? You're talking about the Declaration of Independence where it says all men were created equal when in fact all men are not equal. Because you don't look at black people as men.
Right.
You don't, if you really want to get correct with it, you don't include women.
That too.
The ribs. So, again, what are we celebrating? Oh, because we're free from the British rule?
Yeah.
But that was in 1776? My people didn't get freed until 1865.
Mm-hmm.
So how are we going to correct that wrong? If you want to make Juneteenth a holiday, then Independence Day's gotta go. You don't treat people or you don't treat men as equals. Nobody's equal. We may think we're all equal, but we're not. So we're actually being false. Just swap one for the other. July 4th will be July 4th. No longer a federal holiday. Okay, if y'all want to have fireworks around that time, go ahead. I can still sleep. Knock yourselves out. But Juneteenth, maybe everybody should celebrate Juneteenth. But then again, what are we really celebrating? Because after 1865 came what now? What's his name?
Who?
Caw-caw! Jim Crow?
Well, Jim Crow has been around for all the laws in the South. Yes, that was the early 1900s, buddy.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, should we even really be celebrating Juneteenth? I mean, what are we really talking about? Everybody is so, like, being political. You want to take down monuments. You want to remove flags. You want to change holidays. You want to give notice to Juneteenth. So we're going to celebrate the last of the slaves only to have to endure a whole bunch of what? Racist people? Being lynched? Being hunted? Being abused? Oh, yes, you're free now. But you can't live here. You can't eat here. You can't poop here. Remember, our black women had to take up jobs as maids and birth children and let them suck on our nipples because the moms couldn't do it.
Yes.
The white moms. Remember? And we weren't getting paid that much. So what are we really celebrating?
Yeah.
Did y'all see The Help? Here's the thing about The Help. It's a hit or miss. I'm not going to say watch the movie. I'm going to say read the book. The book was boring. But once they got to the party section, that's when it picked up speed. And I'm willing to bet it was way better than the movie because the movie left out some stuff. Okay? And it pissed me off that I sat through that book, read every single page for them to do the movie the way they did. I'm still pissed off about it. So, we have Independence Day. All men created equal except for women and black folks. We don't know if it meant all white men. We had immigrants, so they're included too. They weren't, created equal as well. Wait, are you about to tell me something?
We didn't have immigrants because the white men themselves were immigrants. So the only immigrants you can say were the British, and everybody from there, and everybody from the UK or Europe. What we now know is Europe then too. Well, it's Europe. Of course, they're all immigrants, but the freedom that they put in there was definitely under the religious persecution and all that stuff. But they were all white. They were all white.
So all men were created equal. I finally got it. All men except for black people.
Non-whites.
And women.
Yeah.
Because this was really for immigrants. Because everybody that came here were immigrants. From Europe. Then enter Columbus.
Oh, Columbus came before that.
I know.
Okay. You said then enter Columbus.
Well, I'm saying because we're celebrating Columbus Day.
Okay, Columbus Day.
So if we had to pick one can stay, two's got to go. Which one is it?
Get rid of these? That's tough.
Start all over.
Get rid of Columbus Day. But you know what?
I'm sorry, I have to stop you right there because
Get rid of Columbus Day?
No, Truth said it all. Start over.
but I'm happy you said that because I was gonna wait till you finished your whole thing. But this is what they're doing with the takedown of the statues.
You can't erase history?
You can erase history, and history is only written by the victors. Because when you go overseas and go study in Oxford in England, they're going to tell you a whole different side of 1776.
You ain't lying.
And of how they was wrong, and we should definitely still be part of the crew. But you get what I'm saying? It's written by the victors. So you know how they say when you argue with your boyfriend, it's your side, his side, and the truth? Mm-hmm. Yeah. We ain't never heard the truth. We heard their side. We can whisper about her side. But we ain't never going to see the actual truth.
Okay.
Unfortunately. But that's what I thought the protesters were doing when they took down the statues. And they asked for all of them. The Columbus ones, even though Cuomo had a hissy fit. Because not Bloomberg. What's the guy?
Cuomo
he was cool with it.
had a hissy fit
Blasio was like,
Columbus means something to the Italian Americans. However, don't get him confused with Trump. Trump didn't say nothing about Columbus. That was all Cuomo. So while y'all sitting over here fighting for the statue of Christopher Columbus, Y'all get mad at Cuomo,
So-
okay? He wants to preserve. He don't give a crap what Columbus did to the Native Americans.
I want to ask you this though, because
He don't even believe in God.
Trump went in front of what did he do? Mount Rushmore. Should we get rid of Mount Rushmore?
Who goes there?
It's a nice park.
No, but
it's a whole national
it's-
park. I mean, if you ever into nature,
It's beautiful. It's
if you're
but
into
it's
nature stuff.
it makes sense if you're going to do it, and we talked about this before.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Germany suffer from Hitler anymore? Because they stricken him from their history books altogether.
True.
They ripped every shred of evidence other than the fact that he was born from their books. You're not allowed to mention it, none of that.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it right, do it right. Germany did it right. And look how far they've come from that. And if we're talking about the 4th of July and independence, that's not even the real Statue of Liberty that England sent over here.
I thought it was French.
Sorry, the French, sorry.
Yeah.
That's not even the Statue of Liberty that France sent to us.
Does anybody have the real photo of what it looked like?
Yes, it was a
She had a
black
wide nose,
woman.
didn't she?
It was a black woman with chains because of the slavery. We abolished slavery, the whole Juneteenth, all this good. Oh man, you guys finally did it because a lot of blacks went overseas because they were treated with respect.
Well, yeah, the only way you get.
So the
better treatment.
France sent America the real Statue of Liberty. And I learned this from a Jewish teacher, which blew my mind. He actually had the news article. It had a wide nose. You could tell it was a black woman. And then they chiseled it down to look like it does today. So even though it's supposed to stand for something, you still tore it down and made it what you wanted to be. So that's why I say start over. Start over. How many different nationalities you have living in the United States, paying taxes, helping the economy get good? Hey, give each one 2 to 5 holidays. Well, good. Everybody get 2 or 5. Pick 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. Everybody gets 3 holidays. Period. Fuck these Jews and these 35 fucking holidays. Blacks get a month and a day. You know, well, not even a month. There's not a holiday. You get a
only
day
got a
off.
holiday in there.
Martin Luther King Day. So again, give everybody 3 days. Every culture, every religion. If you're gonna do it right, and you want everyone to be equal, give every culture that is in the United States that contributes to the United States and our economy, give them 3 days. Tear it down. Do it the right way.
And then I think on the back end, if you want to talk about history, then I think include that with your African American or
Well, stop saying African American. That's the part.
History and your Jewish history, and that's where you can go in deeper and discuss like, you know, the Hitler movement and all that other stuff. You know what I mean?
They won't do that, and they changed the way of teaching. When you study teaching on a, just like you say, no everything. This was the good, the bad. They stopped that in the 70s because they didn't like the hippies coming up, and which opened free mind and spirit to them first having protest. See, if I teach you too much, you become too, the new word, woke. And now you start to find out ways to make revolutions and stuff.
Facts.
You know what's a product of your woke? Your LGBTQ plus minus whatever you was just saying. We wouldn't be thinking about new genders if you weren't teaching these kids about all these sexual education renovations.
Facts.
And I'm not saying we shouldn't, because I think a kid should know about sex, but how much? I don't know.
Sorry, new genders.
Am I? What are you saying? A man isn't a man with this, and
Hey,
you don't need to bleed to be a
their
woman.
pronoun
we
is
had
they.
a whole show.
Their pronoun is they.
I'm going off what you.
But
told
again,
me.
this is all structured around this $1 trillion pharmaceuticals who keeps giving these hormones, estrogen pills. In order to continue to have that, you have to continue to take these pills.
Louis Farrakhan gave a speech on this July 4th day. It lasted about 3-4 hours, 3.5 hours. My phone cut out on me, so I couldn't finish it. But my beautician was asking me, I didn't know you listened to Farrakhan. And I said, I support everybody. Like, for me, here's the thing. I think we could learn something from each group. I don't discredit anybody, but in our lifetime, I think we are extremely grateful and lucky to be able to bear witness to someone like Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Okay.
We don't have Dr. King. We don't have Malcolm X. This is as close as we're gonna get, and it's history in the making. So I think anytime he graces us with his presence, I think we should take time to listen. I do, and I was thrilled to listen to what he had to say. So thrilled, I took notes. One thing he said was that we need to release Cuba. So I didn't know what that meant. Then I found out that Cubans have holistic treatments and therapies, and that's what we need to help fight off COVID. So I was like, oh, okay, I think you're onto something. Then he went on to Jews and called them imposters. So that blew my mind because I said, wait, what? Then I found out that the Jewish people that live here are imposters. They're not the real Jews.
Facts.
I said, so now when I see one, I'm going to think in my mind, you're an imposter. So this totally just messes me up from head to toe.
Okay.
Then he said this. He asked God to make Florida the epicenter of COVID.
Really?
And who's the hot spot right now?
Florida, whole Sunbelt. Florida,
Texas, Arizona.
All that state. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Tennessees, that whole area. Florida's in
So I
there,
was
burning.
confused. I was like, so basically he's trying to show his connection to God and the power that he has, which kind of freaked me out a little bit because I was like, okay.
Okay.
I mean, if we doing all that, can you tell God to make it stop? I'm not the only one that was thinking it. But he has some messages for Trump. And he said a lot. But my thing is, I really feel like, again, Trump, I'm not taking sides,
Okay.
but I think it is in our best interest that Trump wins the re-election. Because if he doesn't win this re-election, I think we're all screwed. Because the only barrier we have is Trump. Because he's not forcing us to take... Oh, and then Minister Farrakhan said that we don't need to take the vaccine. We should not take the vaccine. The only buffer we have is Trump. Trump is not forcing us to take the vaccine. He said if the vaccine comes, it's optional. He doesn't mean for everybody to take it. But if you look at the left, they're going to make it mandatory. Listening to Minister Farrakhan, he brought up, remember syphilis? Remember the polio? He brought up everything. He said, look at what they did to us. And we're going to allow these people, once again, to do this to us. They're going to come to us first because we're the needy ones.
Gates family.
And give us these shots. And then what happens? No, if they're so great, then give it to your people first and we'll wait. Melinda, you will give it to your kids.
Facts.
Give it to the Trump kids. He got grandbabies, give it to them. Everybody in Congress, y'all take the shots. All y'all old folks, y'all take the shots. And then let us know how it is 6 months, and then, we'll be good. But I encourage everyone to listen to what he had to say. I know it was long. It was long. But he made some good points. But I really feel like, again, when it comes to Trump and it comes to Biden, I want people to actually do the research. Don't go around listening to what everybody's saying because everybody's talking out of hysteria. Everyone has their own motive, okay? Everyone has their own agendas going into this season. I just told you, COVID took a break. Protesters were out there. Nobody was worried about the coronavirus. Now all of a sudden that George is buried. Guess what? The coronavirus just happens to come back. Why is that? How is that? You gotta wake up and pay attention. Everybody's so scared. They're in a house. Why are you scared? If you're not scared during flu season, which you probably should be scared of, you're not scared of the swine flu, what are you scared of? Oh, you can't be around. You have to be 6 feet separate. Okay, whatever. Social distance, okay. But the bars are open. I mean, there's outdoor dining, and people are just happy to be out and about, and everybody's out eating 6 feet apart around their loved ones. You don't hear cases popping up because they went out to eat somewhere. What are you afraid of? If you continuously listen to the news and not do your own research, you're going to keep getting scared because they're going to keep telling you what you should be afraid of. You could go to Google right now and type in, pick a random number, 930, and then say COVID-19 or COVID cases. And you'll find 930 in somebody's homeland. It's flawed. What are you afraid of? Get out your house. Take care of your business. If the CDC says to wear a mask, or if your local authorities say to wear a mask, then wear a mask. You're not wearing it all day long. If you have errands to run, go and run your errands. Live your freaking life. Oh, you worried about D.L. Hughley? Because he was asymptomatic and then all of a sudden he passed out and may have given it to everybody he was in contact with? D.L. Hughley is just one celebrity. There are other celebrities who popped up with coronavirus, and they don't have symptoms. They're doing just fine. I mean, I even saw D.L. Hughley on his, Instagram, making or poking fun at something. He looked fine.
He did a whole interview doing it.
Interesting. Sir, you look a little too fine. Because last time I checked, somebody your age and you passed it out, I think you probably should be in a hospital or something, but you're at home chilling and social distancing and you're asymptomatic? Really? That's what they want you to believe. And you're dumb enough to believe it. A lot of people went to the Trump rally. Many of them didn't wear a mask. Many of them are not sick. And you're still worried? Guess what? You're going to die anyway. You only get one life. God can take you today, tomorrow, next week. Doesn't matter. So what are you afraid of? If you want to live your life in fear, then lock yourself in a house and never come back out. Or take charge and just live your life. But be smart about how you live your life. I don't want you to go out there and actually contract a disease or something. That's just like, having sex with someone without a condom and then having sex with 10 other people without a condom, and then you run the risk of getting an STD. It's the same thing. So what are you afraid of now? Because in a couple of months, actually, is it hurricane season already?
Yes, it is.
So what are y'all afraid of? We in hurricane season. You already know. Somebody's town's going to get hit the hardest. So we got hurricane season. Then we got the flu coming back. I'm just saying. So if you get a chance, go on YouTube to Revolt TV. They were the only ones, I think, that broadcasted Louis Farrakhan's speech.
Oh.
So get some power. Gain some knowledge. Vote, because it's important. But if you don't feel like voting, then don't vote. It is what it is. Either way, we're screwed.
Good times. Good times.
And stay away from Florida.
I'm
joking. Florida, we love you. Y'all stay original, okay? We don't care what y'all do.
Just stay down there. Whatever they do, just stay down there.
I'm not mad. Listen, I get it. They want to move at the beat of their own drums. And I totally understand. They don't want people telling them what to do. And then you get mad at people because they don't wear the mask. Here's the thing. They're not wearing masks because they don't like being told what to do. Because we're in a land of the free. You're restricting people's rights. Okay? You're restricting their freedom to go about and live their free lives. That's how they think. I know. That's how they think.
But no, but then, all right, so you're missing the bigger picture. Everybody you just preach. Yes, you are. Because everybody you just preached to is part of the... Let's, for a better term, call them ignorant. They lack knowledge.
Who lacks knowledge?
All these people who believe exactly what you're told. You said one thing, that you should go out and do your own research and due diligence.
Yes.
And form your own plan.
Yes.
List from A, list from B, list from C, list from D, and then come up with E. You know what I mean? Fair enough. It makes sense. You can't have a smart population in any civilization if you talk about hierarchies and control. Why would you leave yourself to work to be forced under a government that's giving you bad news? And that's just a simple thing. If you're smart. You get what I'm saying? Like, the government's lying. Ain't no corona. Yada, yada, yada.
Okay, I got you. So,
you get what I'm saying?
Okay, so here.
Why? So, but when you see those people in Florida, here's the bad part. And I feel kind of bad for Anthony Fauci. Dr. Fauci, I should say.
Let me see his credentials. I don't know if you can get down.
Well, once you get a PhD, you can be called doctor. Whether medical or whatever.
He hasn't gotten that fixed, so I don't know if he's really a doctor.
Look, my man, he went through a lot. You got to give him credit when credit's due. They finally not all agreed upon the transmission, the point of transmission, which is off of wet stuff, fluid, spit. Once you found that shit down, and then they just got busted by saying the only reason they lied about the mask is so they can keep masks first for the other people. I'm not usually the conspiracy man. I don't think the aliens are sitting there waiting, like, wait till they burn this bitch up. We're going to swoop down and get it. We don't even need to use the ray guns. But I definitely believe in these type of conspiracies. The economy is in trouble. It was always we were always paycheck to paycheck, in the simplest term, economy-wise. Look, we are preparing for a huge letdown. They know these companies that are open will shut down or stop working again. They know we don't have enough equipment or stuff to handle any of these sick people. How many old people are in Florida?
Wait, we do because there are some that have too much.
But that's my point.
Remember when we had the outbreak?
You get the 1% that saves for a rainy day, and then you get the 90% that doesn't, and you expect the 1% to be like, yo, here you go.
Remember how New York was saying they were overcrowded, they were overrun, they needed more testing sites, and this was in the very beginning. And then you had people who went out
and they overshot their numbers.
All the testing sites that had nobody there, but you kept saying how you were overrun.
They overshot their numbers based off of estimations, and just like anything, when you ask for money, you don't be like, yo, I need $10, and then come back and be like, I need 20. No, you be like, yo, I need 50.
Well, that's unfortunate. That's on the individual states. Everything is always about money.
Yeah.
A lot of times, growing up in New York, you always see them working on a pipe somewhere. Ain't nothing wrong with the pipe, but they want to continue to get that big-ass budget, so they got to continue to move the same pipes out over and over again just to get a budget.
Mark my words. These same now that they say Florida and California are now running into the same issues that we were running. We're running out of beds in certain areas, and we're running out of machines
California
in certain
is
areas.
a suspect to me because they were on lockdown the longest, and I'm not understanding how all of a sudden their numbers just got up.
Northern California stopped, and if you know anything about California, beach party is life. So just like we chilling here on a Saturday where people be in your block, they go to a beach party.
So let me ask
and
you
hook
this: beach party's life. How is that the president's fault?
It's not none of this is the president's fault.
Say it again, because they didn't hear you in the back. Because they will keep blaming Trump. Because what? Trump can't control the people? Because Trump said to open?
You have to remember how America is set up. It's not America. It's the United States of America. Which is stronger, your state law or federal law? That's what states go by.
Everything falls on the chief. You know, he's in charge. He's the most powerful man in the United States.
Only when it's
right.
things do the outside.
Right.
So the only thing I will fault him for is not shutting down borders, which he can't do in America. Because states like California, Maine, us, New York, New Jersey, Florida too, they will go ape crap because you have stopped the big businesses and the big people from coming in, investing into us.
Or those ports too. Yeah, they got
those
the
are
ports.
huge ports. Don't go to Texas or Louisiana. Forget about it. You have to shut down everything. You talking about now? You live your life. They would have been rioting because we need to survive.
But if they did riot, do you think COVID-19 would have disappeared when they rioted then?
I think we would have been in a way worse situation now because you would have been rioting for money before we got to any Black Lives Matter deal. If we want to say Floyd and the young lady, Breonna, and God rest their soul, brought up anything, we would have been rioting now for money. So now, instead of seeing those white folks yell talking about I want freedom with masks, they would have been out there shooting, talking about we taking over the state capitol.
Well, Butterfly hit it right on the head. It never went anywhere. It always there, but it was just something else for the news to talk about.
Of
Like
course,
this disease, flu, whatever you want to call it, ain't nothing to play with. Just look what happened in Spain. As bad as they got it, they opened up the 21st and they shut down again. Just in that short period of time, because everybody want to be on top of each other, everybody wants to switch saliva, and all this other stuff. So yes, like you said, Butterfly, go out, enjoy yourself, but still follow protocol. And that's what's happening. These guys are still going out, hugging, kissing each other, all kinds of other stuff with complete strangers, and then you go back to your home and spread like wildfire. So yeah, go out, enjoy yourself, have fun, but still have some mind to it, you know? Don't shake people's hand or shake it and sterilize it at the same time.
You have to remember that the world had to relearn how to wash their hands.
Facts.
For black people, we're still in shock that y'all wasn't washing your hands. But then again, you're immigrants from Europe, so...
Basic hygiene. Y'all laugh.
Yeah, no, real
when
talk.
you go outside of America, they do things a lot
Yeah, they
different.
don't wash their hands after they take a shit.
You have to be part of the elite
Yeah.
to do things here. Why do you think people want to come here?
Yeah.
Look how bad it
Come
is.
here. No. Not for you to not wash your hands. Like, y'all will sit here singing 20 seconds. This is how we wash your hands. Like, I can't. Like, why wasn't y'all doing that from day one? I'm trying to think of all the times I ate at somebody's house. Like, now I got to think, I don't know if you wash your hands. And now I'm not going to
They never told you don't eat at nobody else like that?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
He's slipping.
Yeah.
I'm not slipping.
Yeah.
So, the NFL. I like football. I got into sports just to impress a guy one time, right? And I stayed liking it because it was fun for me. And I didn't realize how into sports I really am. Really just football and basketball. So, since basketball got cut short, football's around the corner, this comes up again. The Washington Redskins. Now, that name never bothered me, but it bothers everybody else. So when we say Black Lives Matter, now we're moving into Pride Lives Matter. LGBTQ plus matters. Trans lives matters. And apparently
Everybody.
the Redskins matter. So now there's this big thing about changing the name. I'm so over it. Do the fans care? No. I don't even care. I don't even know what the big deal is.
Huh?
How is that even? Yes, I don't know what the big deal
That's
is.
like
because
calling
I
it
don't
N-
see
Please
anything
don't say
wrong
that.
with
That's
it.
like calling NFL team niggas.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about culture as far as the Native Americans. This
Right.
is considered disrespectful to them.
How is it disrespectful to them?
You don't see nothing wrong with the picture. Forget the name. Look at the picture.
I see a Native American.
Okay. So that's cool for the mascot. Just that type of picture.
Just that type of
Just that
picture?
type of picture. Not a real dude, you know, in the traditional garb. That one.
Actually, I don't. But
Okay.
So you're saying that that's what's
But
the
no,
issue.
I now gotta ask you something. You said no. Is Aunt Jemima okay? And Uncle Ben?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I never.
At least she's
It's
on
been
point.
around for so long. It doesn't matter to me. I
So
didn't look at
do you
it.
No, you
understand how
got-
it can be offensive to some?
Right, to a
So
specific
you
culture.
were cool with Aunt Jemima. I knew Aunt Jemima had been there. It's a staple. It's
Right.
owned by
Yeah.
it's owned by Pepsi, and I just found that one out. Pepsi owns all that stuff. I knew you couldn't take it down, topple one man at a time, but like you knew the background of it, right? A mammy, that was cool.
It wasn't cool, but yes.
So, but it's cool though because it transitive properties. A equals B, B equals C. So by you liking A,
I didn't
means
say
you
I liked
can't.
it. I said I didn't have a problem with
So
it.
okay, so by you not having a problem with A, means you don't have a problem with B, and B is the same thing, so you don't have a problem with C. C's the same thing, C's the
Probably.
B.
You're
But
right.
you get what I'm saying? So I get you on that point. Yeah, okay, it's been there for so long, I ain't got no problem with moving it. Now, if they was the black Jigaboos, and you know one of the best teams in the league, and they was the Jigaboo skins, we were cool with that because they have been around since like 1950, right? And so we just keep it the Jigaboos.
No. But okay,
Now
so
why?
educate
Now why
me.
not? Why not? Because Using
That's
the same
that's an
theory.
offensive term. So are we saying that the
So
Redskins
the Native
is
Americans,
offensive?
yes,
That
the
is
few
a
Native
yeah.
Americans
Right,
that
that
are
is-
in here.
Calling Redskins
That's
is considered
offensive thing.
offensive to
All
them.
right,
He's
so
not in a traditional
okay, y'all
garb.
educated me. Okay, so now we
Right,
know.
right,
So
right.
it's the name because that's offensive,
And the picture.
and they've been known.
That's not even the no. They had the cartoon. Didn't they have a cartoon one?
Yeah,
Oh, no, the baseball.
it was
the baseball had
yeah.
the cartoon one.
Yeah, that was the
Here's the
Indians.
thing: the Washington's not my team. I never paid attention. That's why majority I really don't care. But
Gotcha.
now that we know that Redskins is offensive, for those that didn't know, because there's a lot of people like me that didn't get it.
Okay.
Now
Yeah.
I got it. I'm woke. So now we all know that Redskins is offensive.
Yes.
They've been known as the Redskins for how long?
Since the birth, I think, of their
but it's-
franchise.
I need a year.
It's only got. I don't know. Check it
How
out.
long they been in okay, he's checking that out. So this is catching heat again because of what?
Well, it's because of the Black Lives Matter. Everyone's including
Same
themselves.
thing like
in it.
the trophies.
No.
The
Truth
statues.
said it. Truth said it.
Yeah.
Truth. One more time for those in the back.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone's jumping on the Black Lives Matters. And like, I really don't have a problem with it, but I understand it. But this is something they've been trying to change over and over again. And even the current owner start off and said he's not changing it unless it's financial. And I guess his board was like, you stupid. You don't see what's going on now? Then he came back out and said, okay, he'll think about changing the name. But to his whole thing is, it has to be profitable for him to change the name.
He's gonna
Right.
lose over $200 million just flat out changing that.
Okay,
Right.
so let me ask you a question. Since everybody's hopping on to the Black Lives Matter movement,
Gotcha.
what have black people gotten so far?
Well, I mean, Black Lives
arrest.
Matter isn't, a black person isn't running it. It's like that.
Oh, that's right. It's a Democrat. Since we're not getting money and we're not on the receiving end of the money, and the money is actually going, if you're donating to the Black Lives Matter organization, that money is going to the Democrats. It's not going to black people, it's going to white people. What has black people gotten from the Black Lives Matter movement? 200, Jeff.
200.
I give you 200 if you can tell me what black people have gotten from
We
the
got
Black
Nancy
Lives.
Pelosi to kneel in the garb.
Oh,
we
you mean it
have
was okay
a
for her to
law.
make fun? Okay, go ahead.
Well, look, if you want to be honest on that, really quick sidebar, I think it's the same thing as this. Don't be
1936,
don't be,
sorry.
1936.
1936,
So yeah.
You had since 1936 to protest about the Redskins, but y'all want to hang on the tail end of Black
They
Lives
have been
Matter.
protesting it
They have.
forever.
They have.
But they
It's
couldn't
at
get
first.
them to change it. They've been protesting it and over again. But I guess with a lot of cultures and organizations saying because change is actually happening, it's time for us to jump on that wave.
I'm jumping too. Lift every voice and
Why not?
sing the Black National Anthem
Yes. Finish.
is no.
Oh, I was gonna stand up. No, you finish.
Well, we'll get into that in a second. So, yeah, the NFL's gonna play this for every first game of the season.
No, thank you.
This is what happens when you do too much.
You think so?
No.
Here's
Go
the
ahead.
thing.
Finish your thing. Finish your
Here's the
thing.
thing. First of all, ideally, they could probably only do the one, verse one.
Yes.
I know some people are getting it confused. They're going to sing the whole thing. No. We don't sing the entire Star Spangled Banner. Okay? So you treat it the same.
Correct.
Well, you know why?
Yeah, we know
That
why.
third verse. That third verse.
Technically. I mean, and nobody's really had that conversation either. But we're singing the Star Spangled Banner.
Boy, that third
But
verse.
Because people ain't heard the third verse, so people think it didn't exist. You think a lot of people don't? Think
so basically, we're going to need
Right.
somebody who's bold enough to sing the entire track. In fact, when it begins to play, skip over 1 and 2 and go to the third.
Straight to the third. I guarantee
And
you.
then you'll guarantee to have people look at you sideways and be like, but that's the national anthem.
No, I guarantee you it'll be white people that will remove their hands themselves. It's like, oh no.
we
But
have that.
the sad thing about it is, this is one of the biggest wolves
pull over your eyes.
pull over our eyes that America has done, to where they only want to concentrate on certain parts of this And instead of, like I said, if you want to clear this song up, go straight to the third verse, and you will have no one wanting to stand for it ever again.
How about we don't do any fucking national anthem?
Well, unfortunately, the NFL had this thing where
contract
you
with
didn't
the-
have to know. The players had the choice to come out during it or not.
Yeah.
It changed because of 9/11. Is when the NFL started playing the Star Spangled Banner at every game as a tribute to 9/11. But prior to that, you ain't never hear it.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. Before you even say another word, I'm gonna be honest. We don't need. Forget the regular Star Spangled Banner that's going on. We don't the Black National Anthem, because you know what's gonna happen. Every white person is gonna sit down on it. A lot of people don't know to stand up.
Black
to
people
sing,
sit down on it, and it pisses me off because they should know
because
that
they
they're
don't know
supposed
it's
to
the
stand.
national anthem.
They don't. A lot of people, what I saw on social
And-
media, did not even know this existed.
And let me be honest.
Facts.
How can we be wrong with them? Because a lot of them aren't ADOS.
Yes.
So then they not black.
Facts.
If a Jamaican sit down on it because he don't know it, you can't get mad at the man.
And the reason why I'm saying this is too much is because it's not sung everywhere, and many people don't recognize it, and they don't know anything about it. Here's the thing. We talk about the national anthems. You just said it. Get to the third verse. Now, Lift Every Voice and Sing is a beautiful song. Get the right person, the right choir to sing it. I mean, it'll have you go to church in a heartbeat if you're spiritual. And even if you're not spiritual, it'll make you spiritual. Okay, you'll feel something. It's a beautiful song. Star Spangled Banner is not. So to play this before the Star Spangled Banner, it'd be real funny if you get two black singers. One to sing the first verse of Lift Every Voice and Sing, and then someone to sing the third verse of the Star Spangled Banner. I guess you might cancel football season altogether. But I'm saying it's too much because NFL, you want to make black people happy? Just give Colin a job so we can be done. You're doing everything but giving Colin Kaepernick a job. It's like you would do anything but hire him again. Because you are all in your feelings. But it's okay, because the majority of us that did protest are no longer protesting. We're going to watch anyway. Because there are other things. We got Cam Newton going over to the Patriots. There's too much excitement there. So I'm not a fan of his, but I'm going to watch. So I can have something to say. And then a lot of us that are Jets fans, I'm not one, they just want to know if they have hope. You know what I mean? They just want to know if they have hope this season. And then they're the Giants. And we just want to know if we have a season. Don't forget the Saints and their QB. Drew Brees, remember? First he was, all lives matter. Now he on the Black Lives Matter. There's that drama too. We just want to know if his teammates are going to cover him.
He gonna get the most sacks in the history.
So there's a lot that goes with this.
He'll be running for
But
his life this
I just
year.
don't, I just think they too much. But hey, if that's how y'all feel, we as black folks, ADOS, want you to find someone. Please don't let a white person sing it.
Why not? It's all about a voice, and this is the whole thing
He's right.
that bothers me.
He's right.
When
That's
I
why they
see-
let black people sing the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
What's the name?
What
It's
kills
Star
me-
Spangled Banner.
It's stupid if they never sang the third verse.
No, never.
They
You
never tell
never.
them to, and they never.
I think
teach-
you would. I
from
don't
the
think.
beginning. They never teach them. To.
Put it like this. I don't even think you can find anyone ever singing it, even on YouTube. They'll restrict things so bad because they don't want people to know the truth about it, which is why it's only sung up to that point. But here's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna fly blackout, and I'm gonna have to share this
Let's do
third
it.
verse with everybody.
Let's
Do
do it.
it, bro.
I don't know it by heart.
okay.
Let's do
No,
it.
I'm just singing, right?
Yeah.
So I gotta practice so I don't crack on camera.
Ah,
I want
we
you to
can
crack
do
and
that.
Everything. That sounds like Mariah on the verse.
But I think this. I like the fact that the NFL wants to do it because what it would do is it would teach those individuals who do not know it or do not know it exists to know that it does exist. So I want to give the NFL credit for taking that step to do something like this. They didn't have to, But from a business standpoint, the NFL knows over 90% of their players are black.
Right. And a lot of their fan base is
But
black.
you don't think that that's going to cause issues with black folks?
Well,
when
no,
they see
because
white
here's the
person
thing:
singing
is
it?
you don't like
Nope.
that. We don't like that song. We gave you this.
Yep.
So you can't complain that we didn't try or we didn't give you an opportunity to express your side of it. Where now the players are already saying they're going to kneel.
This is not expressing a side of anything. This is just like you said, pulling the wool over our eyes. Y'all Negroes is mad because they was shooting, and your boy last year, well, a couple years ago, was kneeling, and we was like, nah, get in line. And so we just want to dodge the bullet before they walk in there and start pulling out stadiums, and start pulling out owners, and start pulling out something else. You get what I'm saying? Let's put the black national anthem up there.
I mean, when people have to
sell chicken in the stands.
What people have to understand about the NFL,
Yes, they gonna sell chicken.
The NFL is only 16 games. It's pretty much the shortest.
But this year we can't even
sports.
get a preseason.
No, you're getting 2 preseason games.
No, they said no. They just said it today. It's done.
No preseason.
No preseason.
So we're just going straight.
Okay,
into
so
You're going
hey,
straight into the season.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I'm cool with that. But here's the thing about it again. The NFL is a $1 trillion business, people. Worldwide, $1 trillion. They're going to do everything in their power to accumulate that in every penny of that $1 trillion. Like NFL said, you know what? We're going to quarantine y'all asses in Orlando. 9 out of the 334 players got it. Y'all going to self-quarantine. We're going to bring y'all here. But no one's going to be allowed out of this bubble. They want that season to happen somehow. Or just like the baseball season. People love baseball, but 162 games, you're killing me. Now you're telling me 60 games? I'm watching every freaking game. Every freaking game.
See, that's why you went out here.
Right.
That's why you went out.
It's going to be more. It's going to be more
60
exciting.
games.
But none of those sports generate as much money as the NFL. So if no sports ever happened, the NFL was going to happen.
So you're right, but what's the bigger issue here? Just putting on entertainment for folks to be blinded, or whatever the issue is, a point, making a point or a plan. I'm gonna give y'all a hypothetical. You don't need to answer. If let's say Trump get in, right? Trump get in and say, hey, I'm gonna give y'all blacks reparations, guaranteed. You just can't watch the NFL. This is the new magical world. This will happen. Would you guys watch or no?
That doesn't make any sense because black people are still playing in the NFL.
Don't matter. You just can't watch. I'm going to give all you ADOS folks, if you're not watching the NFL, would you not watch? Or how bad?
Much?
You want to get whatever you want in your reparations.
It's not going to be worth it.
So, but here's the deal. Both of you guys just picked out ways to avoid the issue. So the point doesn't matter. Your entertainment matters.
No, it's not that.
No,
It's
you just said that.
No, it's saying they would
you have
not
to
be
give
able to
more.
give
You
me.
can't just-
All right, Philip Morris.
I just said reparations. You fill in whatever reparations is for you. If it's $1 billion,
Oh, if I c- oh,
if
no,
it's
no,
$1
no.
billion
If I can
for
fill out
you.
whatever
Oh, if I can
want.
feel it. Oh, I'm
But hold
putting-
on, but this is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. This is hypothetical now.
Yeah.
So like if you just want land and
Oh,
she wants $1
absolutely.
million,
No, give me land.
All right, whatever the hell.
Give me land.
I will never watch again. It's
I'll never
okay.
watch
You
again.
would
if you could give
never
me land.
watch
I'm
again.
good.
No, if you could give me land, and of course, because that
Oh,
was the whole
Lord.
thing when we're talking about reparation. I don't
should
care
pick
about
this
you
word.
giving every black
No,
person
I think you're
$1.5
wrong.
million or
I
whatever.
think you're wrong because both you guys are now displaying a human need, a human nature. You need to be out and see. You like those fools? We got to get in this concert, don't we?
No,
we
I'm
got
not.
to go do
No,
that.
I'm
It's
not.
about
Yes.
create. It's
I
about.
watch it on my
Yes,
TV.
y'all
I
are,
don't need
bro.
to be out there. I can
It's
watch it on
about
my
creating.
TV.
But
all right.
you watch it. So that's the point. You need to have it on.
No, I don't.
Because the moment the NFL commissioner comes up and be like, yo, my bad, folks. Cam Newton done broke his leg and got double corona. And Jerry Jones said he ain't fucking with them niggas. We's are sorry.
He did say that,
Yeah,
but no, he didn't say
listen,
that.
But listen, and y'all be like, oh no, corona fake. Y'all gonna be ape shit. They're gonna be a
No,
whole
I'm
new
not.
riot.
So you got me confused.
You are
I'm
crazy.
not a freak like
No,
that.
I-
about
You don't
sports.
have to be a freak.
No.
You want an outing.
No, I
No,
love
I don't.
sports. It will be an outing, but if
looking
you're,
for an outing.
here's the
I'm
thing.
not looking for an outing because I'm for everybody who wants to see their games. Like, I really don't care.
But that's an outing. I'm with you on that point. So
no, I understand. You're saying it's
individually
just
don't
more
need
of a it's just like
the humans need an outing. We need to give them something.
We need to give us something to take our minds off.
Put them in a coliseum. We don't care if it's lions, tigers, bears, humans fighting humans, people rollerblading. I need to give you an outing, something to do.
Okay, wait.
And so to calm the distress.
So you're saying we need an outing. We need something to do. Can that something be attend your own?
It could be the Kanye
engagement
concert.
Party.
Yep, it could be the Kanye.
It can
could be
be?
whatever. But I'm saying in a mass form. So something that we all like because
Okay,
not
hold
everybody
on.
knows everybody.
Everybody likes engagement parties. You get food, you get to eat. So what if it's an engagement party? We can still do that. So
And we do,
haven't arrested all of Breonna Taylor's
You got it. You got it.
murderers.
Okay.
But yet, can the AG of Kentucky still celebrate his engagement?
You mean him marrying a white girl?
That was everyone's problem. And it wasn't the fact
I'm
he was
sorry.
doing that. It was a white girl.
I think it was
I'm
bad. They
sorry.
were mad it was a white girl. That's all it was.
Listen, I'm black.
That's all that was.
Hold on.
Go.
I'm black. And although I like to see my black men with black women, I'm not blind. And I understand you love who you love, who makes you happy.
Right.
All right, cool. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't know you.
Fair enough.
So I'm trying to understand why his engagement to this white woman, which when I first looked at it, I really wasn't into the whole, it's a white woman, okay?
Right.
I was just looking at, okay, so you're mad because he's engaged and he's
He has a
living his
personal
life?
He has a personal life, people. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, then I saw that she was white, and I'm like, okay, and I mean, he's a black man in Kentucky, so I put two and two together. More than likely, he would be with a white woman.
Right.
What's the problem again? Oh, because he's not doing his job. Who said he wasn't doing his job? Oh, he's one of Trump's people because he's a Republican.
He didn't get a chance to do the job. Damn.
I believe he is doing his job. He can still attend an engagement party.
It was his engagement party.
It was his.
It was his engagement party. It wasn't someone else's.
It's him. What are you going? He not gonna go? Where's it? His.
Okay.
All right, but we're going to Skype.
Yeah.
I got to sign this
So
letter.
it's okay for black men to date or marry white women. They do it all the time. But when a black woman marries a white man, they're called coons and butter biscuits and all these other names. It's okay for a black man to date, marry, birth babies outside of his race, but when a black woman does it, it's a problem. You all got upset because this black man is with a white woman. He ain't the first, he ain't the last. But because Breonna Taylor's murderers, if you call them, haven't been charged, arrested, like, what am I missing here? He still has a job to do. He could do multiple things. Okay? We don't know all the facts.
Right.
And if you heard this show last week or the week before, I did mention there's some other things coming down the pipeline regarding this case
Yes, you did.
that he cannot speak about just yet. And I'm not even sure if all of it's true, but if it's leaning towards being true, then there's some more to the story that we all don't know. We're all sitting here saying we haven't forgotten about you, Breonna. Yes, y'all did. You know why? Because y'all went hard for George. And then once George was on his leg of his tour for, to be buried, that's when only a handful of y'all were talking about Breonna. Okay?
2 different cases, though.
It is 2 different cases, which
Right.
is why I said if you listen to the show last week or the week before,
Right.
when I ran down that list of, it was last week, right?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
When I ran down that list, because somebody got some more information, which might make sense as to why they're not moving the way they're moving. But he's not doing his job because he's celebrating his engagement, and then he got mad because they got a bunch of white people in the background.
Well, his
People.
mom is there too. So.
I
Is she?
mean,
I thought he was
she's
the
the
only
black
black
lady in the
person.
corner. Yeah, she's the black lady in the
You
corner.
got 2 black people
I
in the whole
mean-
crowd.
what's the big deal here? We're in a country where you want to accept everybody. It was okay for all of our rappers and our famous people to go, and our sports people to go date outside their race, and y'all don't have a problem with it. Look at Dr. Dre. He's getting a divorce from his white wife. Okay?
She's mixed.
Cheese.
Oh, so it's okay because she's mixed.
Wait.
No,
I mean,
no, no.
y'all break it. I don't know what the deal is. She's white. She's mixed. Look at Tyrese. Y'all got mad at Tyrese, and then he said she's like 24% black. I can't keep up with y'all.
They did the test. 24%.
Okay? But all Black Lives Matter at this point. Leave that man alone. He's doing the job that he was appointed to, and he got kudos from Trump. He's a Republican, and Trump actually had some kind words to say about this guy, and he had every faith in this guy to do his job to the best of his ability. The majority of you all who are upset don't know anything about what his job is.
True.
Okay? We don't know all the facts about this case. You all saying Brianna was asleep, blah, 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 blah. Now they done passed this law, Brianna's law, so there's no knocking. Okay? But they haven't arrested everybody. One was fired. Okay? Can we due process? Can we investigate? Can you let the people do their jobs? Just like Epstein's case. What did the FBI and the police department do? They, in silence, in quiet, without telling many people, they did an investigation. And then what happened? Epstein's confidant, Gillian, whatever her name is.
Yeah, it's French. It's very French. Good idea. Whatever.
She was arrested in New Hampshire. How so? Well, if anybody paid attention to the news conference, they said they always had tabs on her. But they got all the evidence that they needed to obtain her.
Yep.
That's how you're supposed to move. That's why President Trump called New York the finest. That's how you move. Okay? You gotta let the law enforcement do their job. They can't tell you everything. All right? It's gonna come out. And when it does, the right people will be charged, and then we'll get more information. But Giselle, whatever her name is, lady, I don't know why you was in New Hampshire. I don't know why you didn't go off to the Netherlands or to Iceland.
Anywhere but America. anywhere but America.
You must have thought they forgot about you, boo.
Yep.
If I were you, I would sell your soul, ask for immunity, and tell everything.
That's gonna be another suicide in the
everything.
Suicide in the cell.
Everything. Don't you leave nothing out.
Yeah.
And then they will take you, and they will ship you off someplace where nobody will know where you're at, and you can live a comfortable life, sweetheart. But tell everything. And if you're so pressed to believe in COVID-19 and all the stuff that's going on with it, then please put your faith in the Clintons. Put your faith in September 9th when Hillary goes to court. Put your faith in Bill, who keeps lying about his time on the island with Epstein when he was seen multiple times.
I did not inhale.
What?
No sexual relations.
If we have our way, the truth will come out. And I'm willing to bet that the FBI and everybody involved, because basically anybody who solves this is going to make a name for themselves and is going to make their careers. What you mean?
You want me to speak on this now? Nah. I mean, the two things are gonna happen.
If you mean to take down big people, that won't make your.
That will never happen.
It will never.
This is the classic case of, if you're the star and I'm your assistant, so I know everything, all your secrets because I handle the stuff for you. You magically get to jail, get killed, or whatever, something, right? And then they come knocking at Jeff's door, like you. No, you're not taking me out. You just took out my boss.
He got too big for his britches.
Yeah, but no, she ain't stupid too.
No, she not.
Cause she know the Clintons or somebody else. They're not even gonna do her in the jail.
But they didn't get her before, which it doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's not.
She probably was avoiding people.
It's not avoiding. Here's what people have to understand about. All right, I have issues in my past, so I would tell people this: it doesn't cost a lot of money to have someone offed. It really doesn't. All right, and when you have money of that stature, you can get anybody hit. We gotta remember the president has gotten killed. Martin Luther King. If they want to touch you, they're going to touch you.
Right.
This young lady with her situation, one, they need to know how much she knows,
and that's what it is.
And once they know how much she knows, and is there anything other traces out there? That's why they've been watching her. Did she leave something in the safety deposit box? Has she made copies of other stuff she knows? Who she's been around? Who they've been around?
Who she told?
She told.
Yeah.
Who told? Who told? Who told? They're dotting super I's and crossing super T's.
That's why she's
These
so
people
alive.
don't play.
For now.
For now.
So to his point, because I think she's going to fall on the transportation. Like, oh, man, the train wasn't linked.
You can't take that risk because
Like she
if you don't
strangled
know
herself
who
with
she's
the
spoke
bars.
to or what she left behind.
But that's my point. As soon as she gets in that room and she tries to be like, look, I ain't him. I'm gonna tell you everything that what it is. Everything is straight. They're gonna be like, you got to go.
She'll
You
never make
can't
it out
leave
that
loose
room.
in.
She'll never make it out that room.
And I know she know where a few bodies is buried.
Absolutely.
I know
Just
she
like
know
the
a
man
few.
who supposedly killed Martin Luther King, all that time he did, family been taken care of for life.
Yeah.
I take the hit, take care of my family. Happens a lot.
Yeah.
Happens a lot. There are 4 guys everywhere.
Yeah.
Welcome to the United States of America. We did mention Biden real quick.
Go ahead.
So Biden is now getting the support from George W. Bush's administration.
Get
They feel like he would make a good president.
That's hard. That's hard.
This is what I need Trump to do. One, I need for Trump to stop dodging my many messages and allowing Truth Vibe TV to come and interview him. And also, we would like to be a part of the press room because these reporters are not asking the right questions. That's one. Two, I need to talk to him about what the end game is. Because, sir, you have a plan, but nobody is on point. So I need for you to get people on point. There are ways to do this. Because I'll be damned if Biden becomes president. I'm sorry, it's not Biden. Who is his VP pick?
Did he pick one?
Whoever it is, that's
Did
who's
he pick
president.
one?
Not yet.
He's waiting for
And
the
if
black
it's
lady.
Stacey Abrams, I'll be damned. No. So, real quick, who would you want him to pick? Because that's going to be president. So who do you want him to pick?
Yo, you're bugging. I honestly don't know. I would love for him to go up against with Warren. And I'm going to be honest. I'm
But
not
she
really
took
looking
herself
for
out.
Did she take herself out?
Yes,
I thought
because-
Klobuchar took herself out.
Oh, shoot. I get
Klobuchar, the
confused.
younger girl. Warren is the older lady.
It should go because he said a woman of color. That doesn't necessarily mean black. He opens it up for any woman of color.
Well, she Native
you
American,
just gotta be the right shade. Elizabeth Warren says she's a Native American.
Yeah, she
so
was something
is
like
that
that, right?
why he may pick her?
I mean, I think she'll be a solid pick.
I don't think
But
anyone
she
wants to
dropped out
attack.
of the presidency. So how is
Doesn't
she
matter.
so solid?
She's
What do you mean
they're
she
not-
dropped
Check
out?
the
Because they were going to give him all the points. Why you running a dead race? Unless you wanted to keep the money
Well,
for
what you
herself.
do is you
Unless-
go
I
out
mean,
there,
you
see
gotta
if
give
you
her
can
credit now.
see if you
True.
can catch fire, and if you can catch fire, you good, because that's what Trump did.
True.
People don't realize how Trump got elected when he did. Nobody paid it. I tell you, if you took $1 and said Donald Trump is going to be the president, you'd be a fucking billionaire. That's what his odds was. But he had the right people in his right camp, and he said we're going to keep the Mexicans and stuff out. Next thing you know, he called wildfire, and he got elected. So if you
when
could
he
catch
ran
wildfire,
his campaign was brilliant. In the beginning, it was a circus. He didn't take it seriously, whatever. If anybody paid attention to the debates, it was towards the last leg is when he got serious. Nobody paid attention to the switcheroo, and that's when I realized that Trump is serious.
Right.
He's not playing anymore. He was serious, and I knew we had a problem. I still voted for Hillary because of a Democrat. And I feel like I was brainwashed to believing that that's what I was supposed to vote for.
Okay.
And then years later, I was on the I hate Trump train. But then all of a sudden, something happened and I became woke. And I realized, oh, hell. It's not Trump. It's the lefts.
Right.
yeah.
And the only person standing in their way is this man because I had to think about it. I'm like, everybody loved this man. Everybody partied with this man. Now you all hate this man. I remember when he was elected and how everybody was running to the Trump Tower to have meetings. I remember when Steve Harvey went and they got on Steve
They
Harvey
all
and I
ran
felt
their
like
ass
we
off.
were just a bunch of gangs, a bunch of bullies. And it's like, why are we all so quick to get on somebody because they want to go and support the person that they partied with that won the election?
It was
that
just
asked
a
him to
party.
come.
It's they know that person's going to keep money in their pockets.
And that everything in the political world is skewed on both sides of the fence. I don't care whether you left, right, whatever. I don't hate somebody for just hating somebody. Like, oh, you're a Democrat? Oh, no. You're a Republican? No. I always gave credit Trump for the things he was going to say. So with what you're saying is now, do you even believe in the Republican Party, period? Remove Trump, period? The crew that's there, that's going to still be there? Are you cool with them?
No.
Not saying that you have to be a Republican, but like their views, issues, whatever it is.
Here's the problem. I pull from both, but I agree and I don't agree. The guy who created BET, the founder,
Okay.
he said that Black Lives Matter needs to make their own party. But I've been saying that I think there needs to be another party. I know we have the independent party and we had other parties, but I think people of color, maybe ADOS, needs to have their own political party. I don't think we can fit ourselves with the Republicans and the Democrats. I think we need to branch off. It's always been those two, but I think with the way everything is moving, I think we also need to create something new. Because again, I hate to be morbid, but a lot of these people are going to die off.
Everybody.
Why are we still keeping this? This was all created back when George Washington was around. We're not living in those times anymore.
Right, but the system is still the same. And once you learn, you go to
Traditional
school
law.
to learn, traditional law, traditional systems, that's what you learn. And that's the game you want to play. Why do we use numbers? Why does one bottle plus one bottle equals two? Instead of us calling it a triangle and a Rubik's Cube. I get you. It's the system that we learn. And that's how they learn to master it.
Okay.
That's why they need those type of people. It's good. So you want a third major party.
I think we should
Or you just
have
need
a
a
third
third in the
major
party.
Well, we all know the Democrats
if you
really
need to have a
aren't
third.
for.
I think we need to have. I think everybody needs to have an option. And I think we can't just be limited to two parties and be controlled by two parties. We need a third party.
That's fine, but you need a selling point for that third party. It's hard as heck for that, and I'll leave it at 13% if you want to do ADOS. You get what I'm saying? If you want to, if the lead, because without the LGBTQ plus family, hold up.
They're with the
Without,
Democrats.
I'm just saying with the support because we're going to need them too.
We don't need that.
Without other different types of white folks.
No, we
Without
don't. See, this is the
hold
problem.
on, let
See,
me
hold
finish.
on.
Let me
No.
finish.
Go ahead.
You're going to need those support to win electoral votes.
That's why the electoral votes got to go.
So now you
Oh,
talk
if you
about
get rid of
destroying-
electoral votes, you'll never have
You
another.
don't even need a third party.
You
You
don't
can
need
just
a
run
third
off.
party.
You can run off of unpopularity.
You gotta remember the majority of people voted for
That's the
Clinton.
thing.
The majority of
Yeah.
people voted for Gore. But again,
Yeah,
electoral
Gore was
votes.
one of the biggest
yeah,
upsets.
electoral
I think
votes
if
is
we
something
no longer
different.
have slaves, we don't need the electoral votes. I think we still do need a third party. I think you should still keep that, but go off of the popular votes.
If you want to destroy the system, you have to restart from the ground
Start,
up.
tear it up, and do
Hold
it all
up.
over
That
again.
means everything you just said is gone. No one party, no two party, no need for three. You gotta get rid of everything.
I mean-
now you can run popularity. I'm me, and this is me, and I believe 1, 2, and 3. And if you believe with me, you know what I'm saying. And I want to make a better us.
So then, how does that work with Congress then?
You want
gotta rewrite
You
everything.
want to destroy it? Yes.
No,
you
you-
said
you
destroy
tear up-
the system as it is.
Did I say
Tear,
that?
tear up the
Oh,
Constitution.
Lord, woman.
That stuff doesn't exist anymore. The,
Somebody
Consti-
give me the last 15 minutes, please.
the Constitution doesn't exist anymore. Tear it up, start all over again.
I'm with you, but that's what we all have to remember. We all have to be careful when the people protest and say this. They, for those few that want to destroy the whole system, you got to remember, you won't be eating. There will be no top. There will be no money. There will be no this. So you end up hurting yourselves. That's what I said. What logical person who doesn't have any mental duress or anything wants to kill themselves? Or kill their wellness.
Well, what about defunding the police?
If it's just defunding, not destroying or abolishing, two different words,
Two different words, but
complete different meanings.
complete different meanings. But to these protesters, it's the same.
I look at city budgets as, I hope you are aware of your city budgets. When you go you go speak to Ross. You got a direct line to the man now. Now look at here. When you go ask him how much they put in policing, and you see how much is getting done from the ground, And then you be like, yo, hold up. Y'all done spent X here, but y'all ain't even spend a fraction of that there when we could have had cleaner streets, or you fill in the blank, whatever it is, fill in the potholes at least. At least. Am I wrong? I done blew a tire.
The streets, I don't know.
I done blew a tire.
They put in, the lead piping was an issue, and now the lead water.
But here's my point. They wouldn't have been asking and begging for money if they had taken a little bit of extra overtime from the police to put in there. Or how about for schools or teachers? Just get the teachers a little something extra, right? They need new computers. Their laptops ain't all up to deck, right? We learn from home.
Have you been to schools? They got touch screens. What you talking about?
That's for the kids, baby. I'm talking for you at home. You got to remote learn from home, right?
They gave out laptops.
To the teachers too?
Yeah.
The teachers got two.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. But I'm just saying, whatever it is, you fill in the blank, put it on the streets, give you new buses. I don't care. Whatever it is, when you see how much is going into policing, and then you see the outcome of policing because you live there every day. You know what I'm saying?
I think there needs to be community policing. I think you need to employ more residents and have them assist with.
That's not the issue, because you know what it is? When you pay your neighbor and your neighbors $100,000 to say you need to make crime, and when you start seeing how much they make, and then you see how much work is getting done, you will have the biggest issue.
What I'm saying is defunding, which taking money away from the police
Mm-hmm.
and putting it into community policing, because our police don't do that. When I first moved to Newark, I remember seeing the cops ride up and down my block on a regular basis.
Gotcha.
And it was very, very safe. Now they've
Gotcha.
stopped. They'll sit there and say that they have 500 new cadets. I have no idea where they are.
That's my point. That's 500 new bodies on health insurance and your payroll. They're not getting paid $7.95 an hour.
But where are they?
But that's what I'm saying.
Well, they're policing
when you don't
those.
see them,
They're continuously policing those rich areas.
right? Or
What rich areas in Newark are you talking about?
or they maybe by the mayor house. We don't know. They got tired of people staying.
They got 500 new police, but I don't know where the bodies are.
That's what I'm saying.
They keeping everybody in Newark from going.
That's why they want to
other
defund them.
areas.
Because you go there and you be like, hey, I heard you hired 500 people. I only see 11. Where they been? And that's a valid question, is it not? That's a valid question from you. So, but now you're mad because we done paid for 500.
And on that note, we'll discuss this some more next time on Butterfly Blackout. Defund.